Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a new live stream. Today we will go back to painting. We did a bit of building, creative building in Minecraft last week. We might continue with that this week. But for today, we are going to paint because I'm sort of back into painting and. As you guys may know, I uploaded a video on Friday, which it was quite a decent painting, but I need to sort of generate ideas for future paintings and stuff like that. So my chair is a little bit wobbly. It's missing a screw. So, there's one problem though. I didn't check whether the brush works properly, but I think it does. Alright, so we downloaded new brushes. Cool. Let's set the flow to 100%. We don't want that to be so low. So as you can see, we have all these new cool brushes. We have really big ones, but usually when we use them, we make them smaller. I don't like this one. Some of them I like quite a lot, others not so much. I really like this one. Use it quite a lot. So yeah, today we'll just generate some ideas, I guess. Not sure how I'm going to do that. I think we're just gonna grab this and let's make a new layer first. Then merge the layers, so then sort of effectively erasing the brush strokes there. So yeah, we may do a little bit of a mix between sketching and just using that brush to sort of get going. Maybe we'll browse some images. It's gonna be all sort of all kinds of stuff. I think I usually stream sort of quite specific things. But for today I have nothing planned really, so it's gonna be all sorts of stuff. So yeah, my new favorite way, well, it has been my favorite tool for a long time, is the lasso tool, as you probably know by now. And let's use it to make some art. As I said, I have no ideas, no plans, nothing. So we'll just go in there and try to generate some ideas. Try to generate some compositions mainly. I don't know why it is blue, but I set it to blue. So I think we're gonna just use the blue to sort of make a monochromatic image for now, I think. Some clouds, probably. Still not sure what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna throw down some basic. I think we're just gonna go straight into colors. I think that may be better. Sure what I want here. Let's go something like this. I think we're gonna have some sort of a structure here, but I kind of wish I can the clouds up, but that's something we're gonna do. Let's quickly get going again. It's maybe a little bit dark. But it's all right. Let's go in without the lasso tool for a while. Though this brush is it's quite a big size. I think the sky is way too dark, so we're gonna lighten the sky up. There we go. For now, it's just plopping down colors in the somewhat right position, and go from there. I need some green stuff for the bit too. Kind of want to make it a little bit more yellow, a little bit less saturated. It's probably good. All right, let's grab a different brush here and start using that. Can we throw in? We have a texture. Yeah, this could work. I need some more colors here. Doesn't look like anything at the moment, but it will come. It will come at some point. I probably should start to worry about my composition a little. I think I want some structure here, maybe. Maybe a little bit larger mountains. Think back here as well. And little cabin. Yeah, and yeah. Ideas are starting to flow. But that's good. And I think we're gonna keep it fairly rough and try to do a couple of these. So we have sort of something to work from. I don't know. Maybe I will like this one so much that we will continue with this one. That's also an option. First, let's try to. I have quite a big canvas, and with the big, if I set my brush really big, then there's a little bit of a lag. My PC isn't too fond of it. I want some reds in here as well. Brown colors. I think it's time to sort of start separating stuff out here. I think I'm gonna go with quite a big sort of multi-tiered structure here. And I'm gonna design it out quite shortly. And there's probably some structure here as well. Something like this. Let's grab a big brush here. We can make this quite dark to begin with, to destroy the ground. Yeah. Keep the selection for now. probably should make some sort of a mask so that I can easily select the stuff that I want to select. Let's focus on the big picture first. Go for the soft brush for now. So fill in that sky. The sky colors. Go. Maybe some yellows. That's a lot. I don't want to adjust the flow. I want to adjust the opacity. Go. Something like this. And now let's sort of start working on the buildings. There's gonna be some, I think low opacity kind of works for now. Brownish. I think we need lower, smaller scale buildings as well. We get this really big sort of structure here. That's not. Something like that, and then sort of like that, just sort of to block it in, really. Bit. I'm not sure. I'm not too fond of it at this stage. I think it's too big. I think we're gonna need to copy it, make it smaller. Let's copy it. And let's start to transform it. And rotate it. Be somewhere back there a little bit, and then we can slider. Copy it. Sort of fill it in a little bit. Let's flip the canvas. Sometimes that helps. Image, rotate, flip the canvas. Ooh, as you can see, everything is sort of falling off. Let's grab a smaller brush for that to show that. See, there's a big, basically going that way. Let's Can I not just control the opacity? Way? Sort of goes that way. And then it sort of drops off there. There's nothing that turns it back to there. So let's draw this out on a layer. So I think it's okay that this drops back, but we have something. Have to have something to stop it and bring it back over there, and then we can sort of make this a focal point. Or we can make and the secondary focal point, or this is a primary and this a secondary, or the other way around. But I think it can work. Let's keep this layer. And let's keep it flipped for now. Let's just start working with what we have here. Find the right brush here. You can't see me picking the brush because I've set Photoshop to only show. Have I not? The brush window has changed for some reason. I don't have the adjustment settings for my brushes anymore. Really annoying. No preview window. What if I close it and go to brushes? F5. Strange. Well, let's not worry about that too much because it's necessary to worry about it. We need to sort of make this. I use this architecture a lot. I think I need a little tower here. Sort of that high. Make this building look a little bit more important. So something like that, perhaps. A little bit right. And I think we can sort of cut away a little bit of it. Just trim it down a tiny bit. And best way of doing that is probably by just this. For that side. Something like this. Let's not go into too much detail yet. Yeah, and from now on, it's basically sort of painting, and a little bit more painting. Add some highlights to the mountains. Make them pop a little bit better against the sky. Not sure about this sort of shape of this structure here. I think this structure is a little bit too big anyway. We may go with. Let's just throw all our fear overboard about painting because I'm a little bit scared to continue with this one. I don't know why, but and that's really bad. Because we've only spent like 20 minutes on it, not even 20 minutes. I could have done a lot more in those 20 minutes if I hadn't really been thinking too much about it. And yeah, so I think we want to have sort of a shared way of bridge, something like this. There's a shadow and it's not that dark probably. Figure that out later. Then we have this light area here in the distance. Our light is really popping. We can make this lighter as well. Dark now. I think I'm gonna continue in terms sort of happy with my overall shapes and composition, and then we're gonna try to do a new one because today is all about generating IDs. So let's not spend too much time with something that we may end up ditching anyway. So we'll keep it open, and then we'll just make a new file for the new one, and then we can, if we really want to, we can switch between the files. I kind of want to bring in a red. This is much as well. Let's dial it down a lot. I want to make it more orange. Red, brown, terracotta. Not terracotta, but something like this, maybe, probably. But just mixing the colors a little bit until I'm sort of happy with what we have. Then let's do it here. Not sure about this part. So there's gonna be a roof on this little tower here. There's gonna be a here. We're gonna. It's quite big, and then darker this side. Need to fix some perspective on that thing because currently it's a mess. I kind of want to add some sort of brighter areas to this thing with some brighter colors, because now it's all dark muted colors. Not necessarily want that. This tower is way too dark. Liking. That's, I don't know. I don't really know how to continue with this one for now. Flip it. I think it has potential. let's try to design it a little more. Let's probably design and values. I think are my weaker points. Let's try to design this a little. This goes down. I think I'm gonna switch the light on the tower. And yeah, I think we're gonna go with vibrant yellow slash orange on it. Like so. I think we're gonna go with a cool and then we have sort of a big here, and the tower is sort of embedded in the. So we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna do that. I know. So it's probably something. And so so and this, there we go. Correct roof with a little bit of well, we can make it lighter, and then we can sort of add a shadow of the tower. Like this. And we're gonna have to get rid of this area. It's gonna be mountain. Probably should start my paintings like this. A little bit more thinking about the overall picture and thinking what I want to do. And sometimes it's okay to keep it rough, and then it sort of starts to flow after a certain amount of time. But usually it's a good idea to sort of try to design it out a little bit better. I think we're gonna go with a fairly dark red here. I think that's a lot better already. And then we're gonna go and brighten this whole thing up. So we're gonna add a little bit there. Maybe a little bit too much, but down a little. And select inverse. Can go in here and stuff that we don't have now. There we go, and then we can go in and some strong highlights here as well, for instance. Yeah, stuff like that. think I'm gonna cut it off here. Like so. Just to have a slightly different design. Then I'm gonna go and same. Like this. Something like that. Yeah, this is starting to get somewhere finally. At a certain point, I have to slow down and start thinking about stuff, because if I don't do it, it ends up being a mess. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes I can make stuff from that mess, but usually it's probably a little bit better to step back a little bit and um, take it a little bit more careful. Go a little bit slower, and that way the painting usually turns out a little better, or all better actually. Let's open some of this design here. Go with our of our favorite methods. It's the soft brush with the lasso tools. Favorite, yeah, favorite tools. I think we can cool it down a little. So that way we're bringing in some atmospheric perspective. Bit of fog, bit of haze. I think I'm gonna go with careful, because it's quite cutoff is quite straight. So yeah, we want this to be our focal point. It's gonna be the shadow of the walkway there, and then it's gonna be a brightness here as well. Let's do a new layer, and I think color dodge is probably the right one to go with. Brighten up some areas here and there. Much. So yeah, there we go. That's sort of a basic painting. I think we can. Maybe I should throw in some textures for it, and then that might come to life a little bit more. But I also want to go on to the next one. I think. The other end, if I really enjoy this one, I can go with this one, of course. But I think I should go with a texture. Maybe not brick, but stone. Yeah, and then we can copy it. Just Google stone texture and then copy one of the results. Throw it in here. I think for the next one we need to figure out our perspective a little bit better. It's also something I don't take enough time for figuring out the perspective, the right vanishing point, and stuff like that. Copy it over. Probably use it as well. Maybe with a different setting, because now it's set to multiply, so it makes it quite dark. This may work on some other surface. I'm gonna copy it once more. Use it as well. I think I might use the color dodge one for this. Yeah, that works nicely. Looking for something else here. Something that I can use for the bottom part, the building. I think I have something. It's I think it's from a game or something. So we can get rid of most of this. Can expand it. Photoshop is so powerful. Almost has to flip it, I think, for it to work. It's better for some reason. We just need to. The right perspective here. Yeah, that works. And then we're gonna find a layer setting that works. Multiply is way too dark. Color dodge probably works. This is too dark. Yeah, I'm going with color dodge. So now we have a bit of textures on this thing. We can modify them a little bit. Well, especially the bridge one. It's a little bit too strong. Same goes for this one. And now it's all a matter of merging the layers. Go painting again. the right color here. Edge. We need a bit of a roof here. It's turning out totally different than I first thought it would. I think the perspective is really off, by the way. So let's flip the canvas and then you can see it doesn't really work. So how are we going to change that? I think the tower is okay, but I think the rest of the building is just bad. So we're gonna just roughly select it, and then we're gonna copy it. Then we're gonna work it with the tools that we have. I think it needs to get lower like this. That works. That's probably it. Right? Then we need to sort of some stuff. Paint over what is. I think this is it. Yeah. So yeah, so far I'm quite enjoying this one. Let's see where it eventually takes us. Start to get serious with this one. I'm gonna work for at least, let's say I'm gonna work for 20 more minutes on it, and then we have worked on it for an hour. And then we'll see from there. Not sure if I really like this brush for like this. I'm gonna grab a different one. Too big. Some highlights. For now, we have some. You have to sort of integrate the textures a little bit better into the painting. Start the detailing a little bit, because I think that's gonna help our painting tremendously. Now we have sort of all the big building blocks complete. You can start worry about the detail of the that's what this brush is really good for. Yeah, let's work on the buildings first. I will work on the landscape later. I keep switching. I have to keep switching brushes. Oh, I could do landscape with this brush as well, but I think it's a little bit too clean for being a good landscape brush. You want a certain amount of texture in your landscape. At least I want that. So that's why I usually use a different brush for that. We kind of have to figure out how this thing works. We haven't really done that properly. There's probably some door. Maybe there's a little platform here. Overhang. pillar, fence. 90% opacity is quite a lot. Let's lower that down a little bit. Turn that down or lower it, not lower it down. So yeah. There's a word for that, but I don't know that word. So yeah, we have the bottom of this sort of house thingy all worked out, but not really the top. So we need to figure out how we're gonna do that. What is this? Is this a little tower, or does it have a roof or not? I think we can make it higher a little bit. I think that something like this, or some roof to get red. Maybe the roof is sort of, there is a little walkway. Let's go with this with 80% opacity again. Some pillars. And you can see the something like this. Fence. Okay, so this is actually quite big. Maybe we make it like this. This is the fence or something. And we need to keep in that perspective in mind, and that's something I totally got. So that's that. Like this. Paint on a new layer. Yeah, that's excellent. Excellent, because then we can easily fix the perspective. Still need to do that because it needs to go up. Right. So that should work. Yeah, I'm starting to enjoy this one a lot. So maybe instead of doing a new one, we will just continue with this one. Part of me is saying, yeah, you were planning on making different sort of generating different IDs, and the other part of me is like, yeah, that's so cool and all, but I have this thing, and I think it's kind of working now, so why I change that now to a different thing? So yeah, I'm slightly torn to 60. A little bit strong here. This is some sort of stable, so if the people are coming in right from the gate, they can put down a horse here. Maybe we will try to incorporate some horses there. I was really bad at animals and stuff like that. Probably should. I say this all the time. I should work on that. I should work on characters and creatures a lot more. But I kind of like landscapes and architecture and things like that. So sort of what I keep doing. We have a little side entrance here, maybe. Who knows? Maybe not with a roof like this. I don't know. There's probably a little bit of overhang on the roof, right? Stops a little bit too abruptly now. Additional detail. I think we can get rid of this. We had the ID to sort of make a little roof there, but I think we're gonna go with a similar thing as we did with the thing here in the corner. Get a little bit here, and then some auxiliary stuff. The roof is probably quite bright on this side because the sun is hitting that. So. Like that. And then, because we're looking up towards the tower, we actually see sort of the side of something to keep in. Probably quite dark. Again, add some highlights here, sort of separate that. So yeah, at a certain stage, I think most artists suffer from that. At a certain stage, you don't know whether the thing is gonna work. You're like, this is never gonna work. This is not going anywhere. And it's certainly stronger at certain times than other times. Can vary from time to time. With this one, I really had the strong feeling this is not gonna work. And what am I doing? But now it is at a stage that you think, yeah, it's starting to work. So yeah, that's good. That's always very sort of hopeful to realize that you come at a point which you think, yeah, I'm going somewhere with this painting. We want some clouds. We could hand paint them, but we could also cheat a little. And just Google clouds and then go to images and see if we can find some epic cloud images that we like. I probably should clean the sky a little bit more. It's also one of the problems. I think the sky is one of the earliest things to do in a painting, because don't really want to be finished with your painting and then realize that you still have to do a cloud. Because it's sort of, for instance, if and the same goes for the mountains. I want to sort of continue that mountain like that, but I'm gonna struggle with that because of that little tower there. So I think it's really good to do that early, and I'm already a little bit too late, probably. Oh well. Sometimes shit happens. Well, for me, it's actually always. I ditched the idea of a photographed cloud, as you can see, because I'm painting them now. clouds are actually really fun to paint because you don't really have to worry about the shape. Clouds can be any shape. They can be big, they can be small, they can be fluffy, they can be sort of these tiny little lines, and clouds are so, I don't know, clouds are cool to paint. I really like them. Um, but they can be quite difficult to paint, but they can, yeah. I think the difficulty lies in the fact that you, well, for me at least, struggle to sort of make the variation in clouds. Because if you look at clouds, not a single cloud is the same as another cloud. All different. And um, you're often finding, well, at least I find myself often repeating myself sort of with the shape of the clouds and overall feel. Can go a little bit blue. The purple blue, maybe? I don't know. I kind of like the purpley one. Purplish. Um, so yeah, let's try to sort of clean up the mountains a little bit. They're here. They're not going anywhere, so we might as well treat them. We also need to figure out what we're gonna do with this over there. Is there gonna be a sort of a village? Is this sort of the front of a village, or is the village back here? These buildings kind of assume that it is here, but can put some more atmospheric fog, maybe some extra buildings, and then we can do some buildings here as well. So maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I'm not gonna commit to that just yet. Um, I think I want to, instead of going down like that, I think I want to go like this. So we have sort of this path underneath the gate. The longer I paint this, the more I realize this looks like one of Feng Su's. I saw it recently, so that's probably sort of stuck in my mind, and then kinda it's kinda hard to sort of get it out then. Sort of your subconsciousness sort of fills in those blanks, and then you end up with something you've already seen. Really, I think that they should do that. They probably did some studies about it. Well, I know for a fact there is one. Um, I don't know the title of that video thingy. You can probably find it somewhere on YouTube. Where they picked up two graphical designers and they sort of drove them a little bit around town, and then they sent them to a warehouse, and there they had to design a poster. I don't really remember the subject. It had something to do with animals, and they were given a certain assignment, so they started making the poster, and then after they sort of finished their assignment, before they showed the poster, the guys that brought them there said your poster is probably gonna look something like this. It's probably gonna like this with this title and this stuff on it, and they were exactly right. They had the exact same title. They had the exact same elements on it. Even the sort of the overall layout was the same, and and of course at first they were really stunned, like how the heck did you do that? Because they were completely sealed off. So the there were no cameras or things like that, so they couldn't have copied it. Well, there were cameras to record it, but not the. I think they already sort of showed that they had a or let know that they had a poster and put it somewhere. So you could definitely see there were no one tinkered with it. Let's say it that way. Um, but then I don't know what I'm doing here, but then they showed how they did it, and during the trip through town, they came across sort of all the things that had to be on the poster, including sort of the title and stuff like that. And it somehow stuck in their memory without them knowing, and they used it. It's a little bit hard to explain, but I think I don't know the title of the video, but it's really cool. If you can Google a little bit, you may find it. But it was really to show that whatever you see, how that sort of influences us. So if you see a picture of a really cool aqueduct, for instance, and at a certain stage you decide to paint an aqueduct, you are probably gonna do sort of almost exactly the same as the picture of that aqueduct. So yeah, I think I think that's why sort of entertainment design and stuff like that is so hard, and also I think a lot of movies and games are fairly similar. Well, within their sort of course you have different art styles, but there's a lot of similarities, and I think it probably partly has to do with that. I don't know, I'm just sort of rambling here, but so yeah, it's really interesting to sort of um, learn how the brain works. Um, but yeah, it can be difficult if you really want sort of original ideas. You probably best off by well, original ideas are a little bit silly, yeah, or I don't know. It depends. If you're on the forefront of technology and innovation, yeah, original ideas are really important. But usually it are iterations of previous things, I think. But for entertainment design, um, it's often based on the real world, even fantasy and stuff like that. I mean, why would you come up with a design of a castle when they've spent centuries perfecting the overall sort of layout and design of a castle? And the same goes for a lot of other stuff. So yeah, you can sort of steal slash get inspired by reality. Let's call it get inspired by. But yeah, that was sort of me rambling again. I like to ramble a lot about stuff. To of thing, sort of like that. here on the corner as well. Go. How long have we been doing it? An hour. Wow, an hour already. I said I wanted to do another one when we hit the hour mark. I kind of wanted to try to do another one, but I'm also really enjoying this one, so I find it hard to pick what to do. So I also tend to sort of when I start working on another painting, I tend to sort of ditch whatever I was working on. So if I quit this one, I might never finish it, and I think that's a shame. I probably will just work keep this one now. Not sure how long I'm gonna stream for, but may have some time to do some other stuff later. Kind of want to have sort of pattern going here. Darker. Especially here, down the bottom. Shadows. Let's do it. Highlight here to get up a little bit better. I'm not really, I like the buildings and stuff, but I'm not really happy with the ground, the surroundings, the landscape. It's usually the other way around. Usually I struggle with the buildings rather than the landscape, but for some reason today I struggle a lot more with the landscape than with buildings. Maybe because I've spent more time on the buildings, relatively, or absolutely as well. Okay, spend a little bit more time there. Let's make this dark brown. I think sort of the switch from, let's, I don't know. I think we need more shadow here. So let's go grab this. Let's grab a soft brush. Add this already. And then we also have this thing there. Yeah, I think we definitely need to work strong with shadows here. So probably something like that. So that's helping quite a bit, I think. Then we can make this brighter. That's my landscape brush. This one. So we have sort of a little focal point there. And to continue. So I think to this. Otherwise it doesn't line up. And now this lines up a lot better as well. It's probably a little bit too dark here. Somewhat lighter color. Like that. Go. Better. This is probably wood. I thought about making arches. That, but I think I'm just gonna make it straight. Trim this a little bit. And we that same sort of pattern as we have here. So there, get the back up here. Go. This one better as well. It's getting somewhere, finally. We also have to create a path from the under the gate, I think, because if it's sort of a main gate type thing, then we'll want to walk under it. So there's probably a lot of probably some paths there. Need to find the right color to that. That's not it. Then of course the path sort of bends away. And for here it's going to be a little darker, of course. Not working. Way I wanted. Go away. In my painting. Sure what color to pick for that. So let's try the different brush here for that. So there's probably some bushes and things. So we may need some trees. This landscape without trees wouldn't make sense, I think. Need to figure out where to tree. Happy little tree. Get some rocks in. Like that. Starting to get somewhere. Feel like this should be a little bit out of whack. Bridge. The right perspective. This wall is way too clean. We need to bring back that stone texture for the wall, side wall. I'm gonna Google again for the stone texture. I'm gonna bring it back. Gonna get over it. Larger. Try to sort of get the right perspective going, more or less, and find the right layer setting for it. Color dodge probably works as well for this one. I'm gonna go with color dodge. Also gonna erase a whole bunch of it. Merge it with the layer below. Probably has some sort of a framework going. Yeah. I think the front part is wood, so let's try to make that wood. Or wood-like. Um, like this. Yeah, let's check our progress from when we sort of fixed the perspective. So we kind of threw this together with a bit of work and a bit of painting. We're at this. I think that is some decent progress. But before I continue, I'm gonna take a short break. So I'm gonna see if my my little cool break screen still works. Like this. Um, look at that. So professional. Ha! I will be right back. And we are back from the short break. Yeah, there's a little issue. Oops, with the little bridge here. I think it should tilt upwards a little bit more on this side. So we're gonna try to fix that. Potentially, it shouldn't be that hard. I think the best way is to lower it here and here a little bit. Of course, we're gonna run into all sorts of. Oh, not too bad actually. Just clean up this a little bit. Clean it up, and oh, that's a little bit much. There we go. I think I'm gonna work on this for about 15-ish minutes. And then I thought, you know what, we can. This is sort of a. We started this just by throwing paint on the canvas. That's how we got started with this one. And I think in the last, I don't know for how long I will stream, but probably an hour or so after this one. Gonna do some sketching with photographs. So we're just gonna grab a few photographs from the internet, World Wide Web, and then we're gonna use those with layer settings to create cool images and use those images to make cool things. And those gonna be a little bit less. Well, it's a totally different method, so you can get a really cool image in a relatively short amount of time. So that's gonna be an interesting one, I think. This has to go side here. Like that. All right. I think we can make the tower a little bit more interesting as well by adding a little bit of structure to it. For the top here, to roof, also to I don't know, we really that much change on this tower. Do we want sort of I don't know. No, now we're gonna keep it like this. Having two towers is probably a little bit overkill here. Could have done with one. Not gonna change it anymore. Not at this painting. Go with there. Or orange, green. Up a little. I think I want some sort of a tree there. So we need to figure out what kind of tree sort of another one. Maybe there's sort of a trees are sort of leading you. And I think I'm gonna go with a big tree. just sure yet about that one. Because I want some variation, some extra stuff. And I paint out those trees. Trunks. Ready? I think I'm gonna have to ditch that, by the way, because yeah, let's do only one instead of this whole series, because then there's gonna be a lot of shadow there. I don't really like that. So we're gonna wrong button. So yeah, let's my tree. Bye bye. Well, not that one. We probably need a bit of green. Can easily slide this towards the green and then saturate it. Thought it probably see. Let's pop this tree. Giving it a I think I want it to be bigger. So let's increase the size of the trunk here. That way we can increase the size of the canopy, and then it can sort of. I don't know if it works there or not. Gonna leave it in, and then next time we'll figure out what to do with it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stop with this one. Gonna create a new one. I'm doing 9020 by 1080, and then I usually, but for the coming ones, I'm not gonna do that. Usually I make them larger to 5000 pixels, but for this one, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Gonna check how I'm gonna save it. Save as. I'm gonna create a thumbnails. Thumbs 001. Alright, this is a little bit different than what we had done before. Let's see. I'm gonna change the title. Photographs. Go. Hopefully the title will change. My category is still set to gaming Minecraft. Well, it's creative. Let's keep it that way. All right, for this one we're gonna need photographs. This is a slightly different. Why did I close my previous painting? I need to. I could try to show it on screen. But so we did this one. This was pure paint. Now we're gonna go and therefore I'm gonna change my OBS. I think we're gonna set it to screen capture. It's gonna go black for a while. Yeah, there we go. We have it to screen capture now. And then I can show you my reference folder. Let's see. Sources, reference, pictures. And we might do some Googling as well. We'll see. But we have all sorts of pictures here, and let's say we want to make some sort of, I have no idea what I want to make just yet. Some sort of a landscape. I'm just gonna throw this into Photoshop. Not sure what it is. Let's just use it. Yes. Sure if it's gonna be useful, but gonna sort of it's sort of like looking at clouds. That's what we're gonna do. Throw in some pictures, and we'll see what I mean in a minute. Let's open Rocky Mountains. Photoshop. This is a really almost a shame to use it for. We're gonna use it on. You can do this with any photograph you want, even copyrighted ones, and because the end result doesn't really doesn't show the photograph at all. So you're gonna play with sort of the layer settings, and then you're gonna find something that you think, wow, that's kind of cool. Since we this area here, and then throw on a couple of others, and then and at a certain point you're gonna sketch from that. I think we're gonna go with 1 or 2 more. This is only gonna work partially on a part of the painting because the rest of it is white. So that's not gonna affect too much. Let's see. Well, it depends which setting we use, of course. Ooh. I think if we were to get rid of this, and to grab this, I think it could be perfect like this. Let's get rid of this white edge here. And then we can say, you know what? I want a sky here, like this. Sky. Let's go with lasso tool. Sort of try to follow this, and then maybe we want a really huge mountain there, and grab some brush, and let's color pick from here for the sky. So it's quite dark. Let's see. Did I erase? I've probably selected some of my painting there. So So yeah, that's another way to do it, and we're gonna do a couple of these quickly. Let's say we want to have some mountains here. Just using the information that's in the pictures. Nothing else really. I think I'm gonna switch to my soft brush. That way we're gonna preserve a lot of the information that is there. Gonna have to get rid of that band bright light somehow. There we go. Side a little brighter. Alright, and then let's select another ridge for our mountains. So this can be quite dark red. So we're having that the shift from that blue greenish stuff to sort of quite dark red. And if you want to, we can add more images to this. So let's say we have this. I got rid of almost everything here. Let's say we have this, and we're like, you know what? I gonna check whether this works here. Gonna grab that one, throw it on. Wow, that's a big image. Some proper high res photograph here. Let's make it smaller. There we go. So we can throw it on everything first and start experimenting with the latest settings here. This looks kind of cool. Yeah, I really like this one. I really like this one. Not so much at the top, but we can delete a little bit of the top here. To say, you know what, that doesn't really fit our thing we're trying to do here. But I really like sort of the colors of the river and the little lake thingy that we got going there. So now we maybe need some sort of a structure. We have stuff in the image that we can use. Not really. I'm gonna see if I have stuff I can use. Yes, I have no clue. It's strange to use it, but I don't think we're gonna use it. No, horizontally, vertically. Let's see what happens. Actually quite cool. Maybe I want to flip it vertically. The white is too strong, obviously, so we're gonna do that. And now we can probably grab some brush and that to work on what we want here. Ooh, I'm still working in the same layer. What if I should so and then still haven't really decided on what to for structure here. Let's see, probably something like this. Yeah, so let's make that a thing. Um, big brush. Um, select the first. As you can see, you can really make cool looking sort of concepts. It's really cool to generate cool ideas. Once first again. And then we want some like this on this side as well. I'm going to do that. Let's not worry about perspective too much. I think we're gonna do it on a layer. We're already on a new layer, so that's great. So we can copy it later and use it again if we want to. And then we're gonna connect these up. So sort of connect them with the ground. Something like that, and then we can sort of grab this area here and then copy it. Oh, one copy is enough. This bit. Then opacity a little bit higher. something like that. And we're gonna merge the two again. And do a little bit more painting, and then we will continue with the next one. I have no clue how long I have been working on this thingy. Not for long, that's for sure. But... And the cool thing is, I've been working on this for a lot less time than I've been working on the first painting that we sort of did today. But it feels like an almost as complete image. Well, not yet, but I think I'm gonna go this that far. No, no. I'm gonna keep the cliff. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves yet. So this can turn into a really cool image, I think. We wanted to, which we might do at some point. It finish this one. I think it has potential. I think this definitely, this one definitely has potential to get finished. I think I'm gonna sort of band this around. Maybe we're gonna make this a round one. Sure. I want this. I think I like the sort of the straight lines together with the mountain. So we have sort of the curves in the river and the mountains and stuff like that. So platforms here they can stand on. Maybe try to catch some fish, although it's quite a rough part of the river apparently. And we're gonna get rid of this red stuff. I think that's a little bit too much. Maybe they'll keep a little bit of it. Let's select the inverse here. Grab our soft brush. Sort of bring that thing a little bit out. Go. Okay, slightly darker, I think. Go. So yeah, we're gonna continue with the next one in 2 or 3 minutes, I think. Let's see if we can make another one like this. Well, of course, a little bit different, but with the same sort of method. Same working method. So it's this one. So this is purely for ID generation. Could definitely use something like this to continue with it and to finish it as a fully finished painting. I think that's definitely a possibility. But that's not what we're gonna do today. We might do it tomorrow. I think we will do another stream tomorrow, and if we're gonna paint, we might look into this one a little bit more. Try to finish it. That would be kind of cool, I guess. So yeah, I quite like this one. Quite enjoy it. I think this is quite a cool painting here. It's quite dark, but we can change that if we really need to. Let's clean up these rough edges of the, or not the rough edges, the sort of straight edges of the lasso tool here, the polygonal lasso tool. Really nice to make mountains with it, but you have to sort of sand off the edges. Can make interesting mountain, perhaps. I think my time is up for this one. That I have to sort of obey that or anything. Yeah, I think this is this has potential to become a really nice painting. All right, let's create a new one. So new, let's not use the clipboard size. Let's just go for a full HD one. And of course, when you want to turn this is, for instance, this is also 920 by 1080. If you really want to fletch this into a finished painting, I really don't like this building here, by the way. I like the rest, but this has to be, the style is wrong compared to the other ones. All right, but if you want to turn this into a painting, I usually start with 4,000 and then gradually turn it up to 6,000 maybe. I don't go into enough detail to justify more than that, I think. All right, we used some images from my own library, but of course, if you I don't have too much images, but sometimes I go to Google and Google a little bit, and if I see an interesting image, I will download it and put it into that folder. But you can just use Google if you want to. So let's bring Google up on the screen and let's Google. I don't know. You can simply let's Google river, for instance, and see what comes up. Look how cool these images are. And remember that the sort of the perspective of this of the image that you pick doesn't really have to dictate anything. Let's copy this one. I don't know if it's gonna work, but and don't be afraid to start over or just start a new one if you don't think it's gonna work. Maybe at a later, a few days later, you can sort of think of a way to use the one that you made a couple of days ago. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see what we can make from this. This is quite pixely because I used to fairly low res images, but that's okay. We have a sort of a nice amount of noise at the moment. Let's save this as thumbs 2. Go. Although these edges are really ugly, but that's okay because you're gonna paint over it anyway. So quality of the image doesn't really matter that much. Let's copy this boat here, and we don't have to use it as it is. But we can also say, you know what? Let's stretch this all the way up like this. Can even let's cut off a big piece of this, and that way the boat is gonna be even wider. Second, why do I still have box like that? Go. Probably a few pixels left somewhere. So yeah, this might end up looking totally bad or totally wrong, but there are some interesting things going on here. When was it? I think it was Multiply, right? Or Darken? I think Multiply has some interesting stuff going on. Still not really seeing anything. Yeah, maybe a little bit here and there, but still not really seeing it. Let's close this one. Add this one. Let's try to use different ones and not the ones that we used already. So we had river. Let's do mushroom. This is really tempting to use this one, but I think it's gonna be dictating too much. I think of the painting. Use this one and see what it ends up like. Because I feel if you pick this shape, you're sort of automatically going to kind of want to use it in a certain way. I kind of like this thing that we have here in the sky. Maybe this is going to be a little bit more sci-fi. I'm gonna merge all these. Still not getting there. It's the wrong button. Maybe mushroom is not the way to go, but because you're already quickly going into that mushroom thingy. Let's tech images. That's all cool and all, but really that useful. Building. Let's see, this could be cool. Because we said we kind of wanted to maybe do a little bit of sci-fi stuff. Maybe this is gonna help. Maybe it's gonna ruin the entire purpose of this. This could work. Question mark? Probably. No. No. I think we need some landscape. I think we have one that just doesn't work. This is cool. I don't know if it's gonna add anything. There we go. I think we have a really cool thing here. A really cool sort of starting point. Um, feel like we should sort of keep this stuff here. Wrap the soft brush. Is it? Maybe put this to multiply. Wrap this and then it's darker. You have this sort of where the boat was. We have this really interesting sort of ring kind of shape. I don't know if it is we sort of lips about this big. Wish I could make a better selection. Could use the pen tool to make it, but just gotta do trial and error here. This probably works. There we go. Shape. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Maybe that's gonna be a sort of a ship thingy. So compared to the other one, it's a totally different sea now. So that's really cool about this method is that you can sort of get totally different results by using the same method. I like the noise that sort of the waves add to this. I think this could be a really strong painting. Sort of this sort of a walkway here that yeah, buildings, lights, stuff like that. Cool. Not sure how to continue. I have some ideas. Let's try to sketch out a little things that we could do. I kind of want this to be sort of a vehicle of some sort. Not sure what. Um, and we need to be clear here. We're not gonna finish this today. We may finish it another day. Maybe not. We'll see. Gonna have to pick a couple of these. We're gonna make a couple more. Then we're gonna have to pick here and there. Because we can't do them all. That's sort of that very bright spots here and there. I don't know. This could be the crash site of some experiment that did go wrong. something like that. Um, can go dark, I think. Like that. That's a big squeaky old chair here. Time for a new one, I think, at some point. The not so distant future, hopefully. So yeah, that's probably we're gonna go in here and be a little bit rough with our sketch here, because you know what, we can always recreate the scene. Try to. So that's this thing that is somehow in the middle of the city. It could also be a landmark or something like that. Try to some highlights to it there. I don't know. We're if you want to finish this one, I think this requires quite a lot of work. So this is sort of a thing that we can do, and then you might add some military vehicles in front. Who knows? Yeah, I'm not sure how to continue with this one, but we're gonna save it, and then we can always come back to it. So let's do another one. Sure, what time is it? It's 10 past. It's 12:40. How long have I been streaming for? 2 hours and 11 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna do another one, and then we're gonna call it a day. Yeah, I'm really fond of this one. I think this area here needs a little bit of work, but I think we can really make that cool. So let's search for another image here. Wow. Difficulty here is that it might dictate the image that we're gonna get too much, but we'll see. It's kind of cool. See a better candidate. So this is a road. Find that. So throw it in here and play around with that. Different layer settings again. That's some really cool things you get. Really like this. I already can sort of see an image forming in my mind, so I'm gonna just go with that, I think. mean, if you can't sort of find the image already, why bother with? Let's save it as times 3. Go. I think it needs. Although I have an idea here. Make this. I'm gonna keep this one here. This is sort of tree thingy. Um. It's a good color for the sky here. Lighter than that. It's too bright. Nice little orange sky. Probably. Yeah. That's alright. I think I'm gonna go with clouds. Find some clouds on internet. Let's see, what clouds do we want? We want as natural as possible, I think. Let's copy that. Let's send the clouds. Like that. Ask this. Bit of that. Can use translate to. I think I like soft light. Best. And then for these sort of sorts of housing here, a little bit like the first one that we did. Actually, sort of same style we want to do there. To use this brush for that. There we go. And nice big overhanging roofs. I want it. Like that. Bit more, bit darker. And of course we're gonna do the same on this side. Add some houses. I think I'm just gonna paint individual houses for now. It's a little bit easier to do, I think, than because we only have one house to worry about when doing that. And of course we can go a little creative here. Oh, that's the point, right? Being creative. Oops. Crap. Little bit bigger tower. We don't want that to be quite as dark. Add this color and lighter, and there we go. And of course, there's gonna be some sort of a big house in front of it. Something like this. And then let's sort of connect them better to the surrounding here. Don't necessarily want that big green there in the middle. Maybe there is some there is a waterfall down here. Sweet. Add a little house to it. Go. To use the brush too many times. Lighter. Go. Quite liking this one as well. And now we're gonna something. See, okay, from that angle, so it's gonna be this is the bottom. It's gonna be this. Like that. To the onto the tree there. Whatever it is. Go. Let's grab a different brush because this is that one. This one. I think I still have the right one, right? This one. Yeah. Go. Although if I make it small, then right then. So we can sort of do a little bit of finding out these buildings, just a tiny bit. I like this one. I like this one and the first one the best. I am not sure what to do with sort of the sci-fi one, so we will probably never hear from that one again. Fortunately, that's how it goes. So let's pop this. So here, let's add this a little one. Highlight here so that this pops better. And maybe we're just gonna let this go into the abyss. This is sort of the edge of the world almost. See. Slightly darker. So this is in front of the tower. The tower is a little bit further back. So yeah, that's it's probably this is quite hard to talk. Apparently, this is probably about it. Just gonna tiny little bit of work, but I really like this one and the first one as well that we did. So it could be that we gonna work on those tomorrow during the live stream. I think I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I'm quite certain. So when we do, if we do, I think when we do, then it's gonna be this one and the one that we did first. So of these sketches, of course, not what we did first today, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue with that one. But yeah, that's probably this one. I really like this one, and I also really like this one. So tomorrow, yeah, we'll probably continue with these two because I like them. So yeah, that was it for today. It's about 1 o'clock almost. I streamed for 2.5 hours, so that's quite a long time for me. I'm really I really enjoyed myself today. It was really good. So we're gonna hopefully do another long stream tomorrow. Well, long for me at least. The plan is to stream longer in the future, up to 6 hours. But for now, gonna have to do with 2.5 at max. So yeah, alright, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!